Greetings. This video will go over setting up the Ion desktop client to connect to an Ignition Standard Edition or Enterprise Edition server using the Easy Setup method. When running Ion Desktop for the first time, you will be presented with the Ion New Connection Wizard. This connection wizard can be brought up via other means after the initial time that Ion Desktop has been started. Typically, the easy setup is used in situations where a single server or Ignition Standard Edition is used. Users of the Ignition Enterprise Edition can also use the easy setup. However, some of the advanced features that are available in the Enterprise Edition will not be available if you use the easy setup. For that purposes, if you wish to view how to set up the advanced setup, another video will be available to you that will allow you to do that. So for easy setup, the first thing is you'll select easy setup and you hit next. You'll be presented with a prompt asking you for connection name and connection description. The description can contain as many lines of text as you want and is optional to describe the connection. It is useful for an administrator to make notes about certain things regarding the connection. The connection name would be what is displayed in the Ion client that will allow an end user to connect to the system. In this case, we'll be connecting to a test server over a VPN connection. So for that purposes, I'm going to specify the connection name as test server. I will now be prompted for a destination URL or address. The address of the server can be specified as a name or IP address and can have an optional URL scheme in front of it, which will be ion://. In addition, a connection can also have an alternative port specified at the end by specifying colon and port number. By default, Ion uses port 310. So in our situation, the bare minimum we would want to specify is the IP address. We are now prompted for authentication information. This individual's page in the setup is optional, and you are not required to specify that. If you don't specify anything in here, then when launching the connection, a end user will be prompted for a name and password every single time they connect unless they choose to remember the information. If you store the authentication information or remember it, then what happens is that the information is encoded in such a way through various layers of security that it is stored in the configuration file with the connection information. However, a determined and skilled person could, in theory, extract the password from there. So please be aware that storing a password in this manner is not considered highly secure. An example here is if I specify a name and password and I hit next, I will be warned that storing the authentication information is not as secure as being prompted every single time, and it will ask me to confirm that option. For this particular demonstration purposes and video, I'm going to say no and have it prompt me for the end user to supply the name and password every single time. Once I hit next, you'll see that the connection appears on the left side under connections.